It is fucking freezing outside. There's a lovely law in my state called the Illinois Eavesdropping Act. And basically, it prohibits you from filming the police when they're making an arrest. Tiawanda Moore, who unfortunately lives in this glorious state, tried to file a complaint with investigators after a cop in Chicago allegedly fondled her and then, to add insult to injury, gave her his phone number. Tiawanda handed that phone number over to investigators thinking that they would help. Funny, right? That's the beauty when you're a cop, is you can get away with stuff because you go to an investigator and then they try to talk you out of doing it, which is exactly what they did. They said that the cop had a good name and a clean reputation, and that they could personally guarantee that it wouldn't happen to her again. So naturally, this woman grew upset, and that's when she took matters into her own hands. She took her cell phone, a BlackBerry, and decided to record her conversations with the investigators to prove that, you know, they weren't doing their goddamn jobs. The investigators inevitably caught her filming them, and now she faces 15 years in a federal prison. How fucking sweet. Not to mention the lengthy court battle that is going to ensue. Oh, and the cop that allegedly fondled her? Yeah, I can't even find his fucking name online. In another Illinois case, Christopher Drew was arrested intentionally. It was an attempt at a protest to the Chicago Police Department and the legislation that you couldn't sell your art on the streets without a permit. Christopher was blissfully unaware of this Illinois Eavesdropping Act, and he filmed his arrest. And you know what's coming, right? Now he faces 15 years in a federal prison too. Oh yeah, and that art that he was trying to sell on the street that the cops had such a fucking problem with, the city ordinance, they were $1 a piece. But that's really beyond the point, isn't it? Because this is America. This is a country where we protect our police from their corruption. We have to legally allow them to film us without our consent, and somehow that's okay. But if you return the favor, you risk going to jail for a very long fucking time. Where is the justification in this legislation? How do you justify it? If the police are only doing their jobs after all, and arresting people that deserve to be arrested, then what the fuck do they really have to hide? The only thing that the Illinois Eavesdropping Act and similar acts that are being legislated across the country to continue to corrupt the system. Which is already broken, by the way. That's another thing. Did you know that the police aren't legally obligated to protect you? Because they're not. In 1987, for instance, two guys broke into a family's home, they tied up the two parents, slit the mother's throat, raped the 16-year-old daughter, and drove away with the 12-year-old little girl who was also later killed. The emergency dispatcher couldn't even be bothered with sending police to chase these violent motherfuckers because the cops had to take calls about a parking violation and harassing phone calls. This happened in my home state of Iowa. America's heartland indeed. When the remaining family, the estranged family, tried to sue the police department, it was thrown out, and the appeals court upheld that decision. They dismissed it before it even went to trial. The reason? The cops have no legal duty to protect anybody. Anyone that has been discriminated by the police in their lifetime, which I'm sure there's a lot of you, I have been too, this probably doesn't come as a surprise to you, but it begs the question. If the cops aren't legally obligated to protect, then what the fuck are their jobs for? This is the main reason that I'm against gun restriction and why I'm for gun rights, even though I don't own a gun. Because if the cops aren't required to protect you, then you really only have yourself to look for when some asshole breaks into your house and wants to kill you and your fucking family. Because the cops might be busy writing tickets off somewhere to come at a prompt time. They might be a little too busy to come and help you before your wife's throat gets slit or they run off with your children. I fully believe that anybody that is for gun restriction is naive to this. They're naive to the fact that the cops don't have to do shit to protect you. That the police only exist to uphold the status quo and to enforce laws that are mostly arbitrary and to put people in prison to make money for the federal government and the private jail systems across the globe. Basically, calling 911 could be a giant waste of your fucking time. But don't film the cops when they're arresting somebody because they have the right to privacy, you know? What a fucking joke. In reality, I think there are two kinds of cops. There's the bully in high school that had a sense of entitlement when he was there and could push people around and be a dickhead. And then when he leaves high school, he realized he can't legally do that anymore, that he could be sued, or worse, he could be thrown in jail by the police. So he comes to the logical conclusion to become a police officer and continue his fucking rounds. Instead of a gym class, you have a little town or a big city. And then there's the poor guy that was bullied in high school. The kids in school that were fucked around with and want a shot at redemption. But once you're out of high school, the line blurs and you can't really tell who's good and who's bad, so you kind of just fuck with everybody. It's funny how they tend to become the same person. Sure, there are cops that have honest intentions. I wouldn't try to make the case that there isn't. But 99% of the police that I've encountered in my life have been one or the other. It's been very polarizing. It's rare to meet a nice cop. Because aside from not having to protect you, there's no legality to being nice to you or to treat you like a human being. They demand respect, but they don't fucking respect you. Our prison systems are the most crowded in the world. We arrest people who are sick, people who are addicted to drugs, and we make felons out of them. The police exist to ruin those people's lives, to ruin people's days, or their fun, or their nights. And all at the same time, they're not legally obligated to protect you either fucking way. Our police system exists much in the same way that our political spectrum does. It's bullshit. That's all.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because there's no fuck to give. Man, I guess we gotta go Buffalo fucking Wildlands. Fucking be around people. Just wanted to go through a drive-through. Have a nice little drive-through experience. You know what's what. What's what in the butt?
Go slip, Cody. Go slip, Cody. Go slip, Cody. Go slip, Cody. We're going to TJ's favorite place.
Yeah, she loves this place, man.